Hi, my name is T.C. Haskins. I'm from Roanoke, Virginia. I came out after my son's death at 18. I had a kid a month before my 14th birthday. I grew up in an extremely redneck, long hair biker, mechanics, construction, so being gay was not an option. First live-in boyfriend, his name was W.T., and the night that Rock Hudson was put on a plane and flown to Paris was the very first night, or very first time he allowed his publicist to admit to the world that he had AIDS. They didn't call it HIV back then, they called it AIDS. And after the doors of the plane were closed, they went back to a regular newscast and they listed the symptoms for HIV/AIDS. And out of the 7 symptoms that they listed, WT had 4 of them. And I just looked at WT and I started crying. Here I am still majorly going through the death of my son. I'm 19 years old, my first live-in boyfriend. But we went and got tested the next day, and back then it took 3 weeks to get results back, and if they got back a positive result, then they did the test again to make sure that it was a true, and because back then sometimes they were coming back false positives. And so it was 6 weeks of worrying, and then when I did find out, my doctor didn't want to touch me. He actually sat across the room when he came back in to give me my results and said, "You have AIDS. You better do everything you want to do by the time you're 22, because you're going to be dead by the time you're 22." And then got up and walked out of the room. For about 2 years, I stayed depressed a lot, and I actually stayed sick too. But then I decided, you know what, I'm going to be the first person that's going to beat this. And I've been really lucky, and a lot of people don't realize that your mind has a lot of control over your body. And if you tell yourself that you're gonna be good at something, then you'll be good at something. You gotta believe it, but your mind is a very, very strong thing. The only medication they had back then was AZT, and they were actually given 5 times the dose that they give now. So yes, it was helping some people for a little while, but it was actually so toxic to the body. And for me, I would rather have quality of life over quantity. I'd rather live 6 months being not too bad than 2 years being sick as hell every day. So I made a promise to myself that if or when I would ever get sick, I would never take the medications, because I just didn't want to go through that kind of hell. And I was actually on my way out the door. I was dying. I was 113 pounds and 12 T cells, viral load completely off the scale, not even measurable. And they had just come out with protease inhibitors. I decided to go ahead and take them. And here I am, 44, and I'm still kicking, still doing very good.